How's it going, everyone? Tim here from Flipspark. Today I'm going to show you how you can use Flipspark Elements in your studio. Flipspark Elements is a creative card game for electronic music producers that can inspire interesting combinations of your own gear and methods to help you find your signature sound. It's also a handy tool to help you break out of writer's block when you get stuck making music. So let's look at the suits a bit closer. Elements. These define the fundamental parts of your song that you might need to complete it. So for example, your lead, core drums, chords, character drums, harmonic effects, these sorts of things. You'll notice that some of these are white and some are black. This indicates that some elements are melodic based, like a lead, and some are drum based, like the character drums. Instruments. These are the sound sources for the elements. These are described with high-level creative prompts, such as doorless, melodic sample, melodic loop, hidden gem, live instrument. You can also use the numbers to refer to a list of your favorite tools using the included template. You will see that the instrument and pattern cards are divided into black and white halves. This is so that you can easily rotate them to apply them to a corresponding element that might be melodic or drum-based. Pattern. This provides high-level prompts for melodies or patterns you might write for each instrument, for example using MIDI or notation. So high-level prompts like paired melody, arpeggiated, talking melodies, drone, sustain length, that sort of thing. And finally, effects. This is the creative engineering you might add on the sound at the end to define it in the mix, such as degrade it, modulate it, slam it, filter it, reverb it, effects like that. So the idea here is that by randomly selecting cards and combining them, you are prompting yourself to try different combinations of instruments, patterns, and effects for any given element. Okay, let's do a couple examples. Here you can see I've shuffled each suit. Now what I'll do is I'll draw one card off the top to define what element to make and how to make it. So, chords. The foundation of your melodic harmony can be strong, subtle, or even arpeggiated. So you can see here every card comes with a title and some copy to describe it. Instrument. Hidden gem. Try a rarely used melodic instrument in your library. So this card encourages you to branch out and go deep into your VST folder and find something you don't usually use. Pattern. Velocity. Get creative with velocity to soften or accent specific notes to add movement to the melody. Cool. And finally, effects. Glitch it. Use a glitch warping effect or apply glitchy modulation to the instrument or effects. So here you can see I've quite easily created an interesting plan for creating the chords in my song. Use an instrument that I don't usually use, dig something out of my VST folder, get creative with velocity, again something I wouldn't normally do with chords, but play with velocity to make an interesting pattern. And finally, glitch effects, something that would work, but again not something I'd normally do to give it interesting character in the mix. Let's try a second example. So, element. Character drums. A drum layer that adds groove and texture to your core drums. Okay, instrument. Now we'll turn it around so it lines up with the drum element. Synthesized. Create a drum sound from a synth. All right. Pattern. Do it live. Record a part or the pattern with no quantization and stick with it. And finally, degrade it. Add noise or degrade it using digital distortion. So once again, we have an interesting approach to creating an element, in this case drums, by using a synthesizer in some way for one of the drum parts, recording the pattern live and sticking with it, letting some of the hits be off-grid, and finally using degradation effects to add noise or distortion to the drums to give it a bit of interesting character. So that's a couple of examples of it in action, and you can see how the cards can combine in interesting ways to push your creative boundaries and hopefully get some inspirational results. There are lots of other ways to use Flipspark Elements, but it's really up to you to find what works for you in your studio. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoy using Flipspark Elements in your studio. See you next time.